Okay, here I am making a video. It's been a very long time since I've made a video. I feel like it's been almost a year since last time I made a video, maybe 8 to 10 months, I don't know. Um, and the reason why I stopped making videos, so first of all, I started making videos because I wanted to develop a channel where I encourage women um, to to do what they like to do, to empower women, to do what's in their best interest, and because I have worked myself to get into a better place in my life after being depressed forever because of my divorce and just losing my daughter to her dad in a horrible divorce, and not being able to have her every day or talk to her. That broke me. And then in my second marriage, well, I have my second daughter, which lives with me, thankfully, and then she's the reason that I kept going because her dad betrayed me in several ways, several times. So I've just been a broken person for most of my life. I would say, even since I was a child, my dad was a crazy guy, had some bad habits, and he was really strict. And anyways, so I'd always try to keep myself um, positive and keep going and look at the bright side of life and be grateful for the things I have, which I honestly, I mean, I'm not wealthy, obviously, but I am able to. I have food in my fridge, and I have a house, and I have where to sleep. So I have my daughter can go to school, and we can enjoy going to the movies, and so that is a pretty good life compared to people that lives in other places. Like I am from Mexico, and when you're poor. Like you probably won't be able to go to the movies. Like you probably won't be able to go to the doctor or receive help from the government in any way. So I'm really grateful for everything I have. With that said, though, it's been a crazy year um, since past September, I would say, because I I got really really affected by what happened with certain political person that got unalive in public. And I am not political, so please don't attack me. Um, but just seeing that, uh, it really took a toll on my mental health, because, and not necessarily the just seeing it once, but the fact that social media keeps replaying it and replaying it and replaying it, and comments from both sides, and like terrible comments, and like also like people celebrating. I mean, it's just at a point where it's like, okay, can we please stop? Like, we are humans. We need to look at ourselves and get grounded. Like, just there's no other way to say it, that we need to look at ourselves and where we are, and like I said, appreciate for the things that we have. And if it helps comparing yourself to someone that is in a third world country and they have nothing, maybe that'll help. I don't know. That helps me. Do you remember? I remember the way I grew up in Mexico, and then I'm like, okay, well, I have it so much better now, right? I have things to be grateful, and I appreciate what I have, and of course I have to put it in a lot of time and work, but here I am. And so what happened last year with that really made me feel so sad and helpless about the way of our society is becoming, or the things that our kids are learning, that all the hate and just I don't really believe in any politicians. I think it's all a show. I don't believe they have our best interest, and I'm not here to talk about politics, so that's just my opinion. Um, but then after that, to keep seeing, I mean, in the past, when I was a child or when I was a teenager, whatever, we would see news on the paper or on the television, but it was not constantly thrown at you with social media. Like, social media makes it bigger and pronounced and repeated and repeated and repeated, and it's hard to step away from the phone. That's the truth. I am a real estate agent and I work from my phone a lot. I answer emails, phone calls. I am active on the phone because a lot of the work apps that we use are, are on the phone. So if I'm not having my computer, if I'm out giving a tour or showing a home or whatever, I'm using my phone. And then, you go somewhere and you have to wait or whatever, and the first thing you do is like just get the phone out and start with YouTube. I am addicted to YouTube. I'm gonna admit it. I'm addicted to YouTube. And I used to watch YouTube a lot for empowering myself, like watching Joe Dispenza or Mel Robbins, or you know people that has good messages. But then I started uh, switching towards independent news outlets and all these things, and I think that my brain just exploded. And I want to be aware, of course, of things that are happening, but man, it just takes so much energy and positivity out of you when you're so involved into this. And yes, you want to know and what happened, but in the end, does it really matter? Like, if we didn't have the phones, like in the past, we didn't have the phones with all this information right there, and I feel like life was so much better because you could just continue to do, like, you could get bored, you could be in the car waiting for someone, and maybe you'll be looking around and observing people, or you'll find something to read inside your car or whatever. And now it's like the need to see what's happening. And like, I'm not so addicted to Facebook or Instagram, or I mean, I do click on them to I get hooked with videos of artists making art instead of me working on my art. It's terrible. But and I erased TikTok months ago because I was noticing that I was getting really, really down after, I could be watching TikTok videos for an hour, and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What am I doing to myself? Absorbing all this negativity. So I stopped, and right now I have the same issue with YouTube. I want to get back to probably watch empowering videos or blogs, but I also don't want to be on it all the time because it's it's affecting me. It's affecting me, and I'm sure it affects a lot of us, because whether we want to see things or not, they just pop out randomly, and then curiosity, you click on it, and then there you go, and then an hour pass, and then you're still there watching and listening to all these terrible things, like the Epstein files, for example. That's another thing that, oh, wow, is so sad, especially if you have kids. Like, as a parent, like, how do you even make peace with what's happening? Like, just thinking that that could happen to one of your kids, it's so painful and terrifying. But again, I'm sure these things happened in the past, maybe not as much as now, but they were not in front of us all the time, as to where we had to be like so sad and so, like, scared. So anyways, I think I feel like I'm ranting a lot, but what I wanted to say is that if you have the opportunity to step away, if you feel like you are getting caught into those bad news and bad habits of being on social media, and it's taking your energy, making you sick, just try to step away. I know, like I said, I know it's hard, especially when you work from your device. Put a timer, create a schedule, an alarm that tells you, hey, you've been here for this much time, so it's time to break out. Carry some magazines in your car if you're gonna be out, or if you're gonna be waiting for something, then maybe take a book, or something like that. I know it doesn't sound like as entertaining, but we have to break out with these social media trends that are designed to get all of our energy and to make us believe terrible things, and to make us get caught into that, because when you are depressed, you are easier to manipulate. So I would say, try to if you're depressed, try to first of all to have a talk with yourself and be honest and see what's going on. What is it is bringing you down? In my case, I know it's the social media. It's a constant repetition of the bad news of now we have a war going on with Iran. Like it's just a never ending story. So and just things will continue to happen. That's just the way humanity is. So um, so just my recommendation is to try to erase those apps that are absorbing your energy and your time and you're wanting to do other things, like maybe it's taking time away from something that you love doing. Like for example, I love painting and I haven't been able to touch my brushes and my paints and my canvases because I have been down so much, and I sometimes I don't want to even show homes or answer phone calls, or but I have to because that's my income. So but yeah, I'm at a point where I'm really really sick and I need to stop. And if you are there, I just want to tell you that you're not alone. I'm sure lots of us are right there. And hopefully hopefully you can find a way to distract yourself and maybe spend some more time with your kids, cooking or playing a game, or you know like doing things you love, going outside for a walk, um, just observing, just watching what's happening around you, and not depend so much on these technologies that are like really really rotting our minds and our spirits. um, and yeah, so I'm gonna try my best to continue to do videos with the purpose of helping others and give my message out. Like that's what I wanted to do, give a message of positivity to women. And I'm saying women because I'm a woman and I know how we think, but it's not exclusive to women. I mean, whoever wants to have a moment of positivity. Um, so yeah, that's my little contribution today, and hopefully, if you watch this, then you're in the same place I've been. This helps you a little bit and makes you think, okay, maybe I'm not so alone in this. I have other people like me feeling like me, and we have solutions. We always have a choice, and as long as we're breathing, and there's always a chance. So with that, I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'm gonna wish you a very happy week and a happy rest of your day. And hopefully, I'll see you next week with my next video. Thanks for watching.